I have played Project Zomboid for over 1000 hours, but somehow I've never been in Louisville, so I'll try to live here for a year and then escape through a military checkpoint. So far I secured my base, almost ended up my run, spent 50 days grinding fitness and strength, and I pissed off half of the neighborhood. This is my attempt at staying alive 1 year in Louisville. Enjoy. Kicking off day 141, I had to deal with the massive horde of zombies after recklessly firing my gun way too close to my base. And what is the best way to handle a crowd? Fire even more shots, obviously. Once I had them all together, I switched back to my baseball bat and started separating them into smaller groups. I was doing this little dance of firing my gun, followed by swinging my bat, and more shooting. For some reason, after a while, I started getting sad. Because sadness affects attack speed, I quickly went back to base and grabbed the book. Because apparently that's the way to cure trauma from killing hundreds of your former neighbors. I don't know, if it was me I think I'll be having Zombieland Kill of the Week levels of fun. I mean, it's end of the world, you've gotta enjoy little things, right? Anyway, fun continued, until I got tired and it was end of the day. After dealing with last group of strugglers from yesterday, it was time to move up from Patrol Revolver to something bigger. Magnum. Feeling the raw power in my hands, I moved toward Network News building and started doing my best Frank Reynolds impression.
Started blasting, bang, bang!
Which quickly turned into another horde of zombies, but this one was much smaller and easier to handle. Got my aiming skill to level 2, so it was time to read another book. After that it became a bit late, so I done some maintenance around the base, added green lights, because nobody can stop me. With that, moving on to next day. You will never guess what I spent next 2 days doing. Yep, even more shooting. I'm starting to think this might be a recurring theme for a while. And I can feel how zombie population is increasing. I've been here for weeks, yet the area surrounding my base is still crawling with them. At one point I switched gun to L94 and started clearing other side of the news building. Despite it being already zombie free before, gunfire kept attracting new ones from surrounding buildings. I moved to the main street with idea to clear it up to Brooks Public Library and eventually all the way to Bridge Checkpoint. But that's gonna take some time, and ammo, and dedication. You'll see later. On day 145 I wanted to do something different. I was going to a police station I cleared before to pick up the pinball machine and dartboard I left behind last time. But first I stopped by a food market to do a little shopping. After arriving I was convinced that the building was already clear. But to my surprise, there were still zombies behind the security door. Thinking that it would take them some time to break it, I started packing pinball machine into my backpack. Okay, that was close. I didn't even hear them breaking the door. After running outside and loading my pinball machine into a trailer, I went back to deal with them. And I changed my mind. Instead, I turned on the police siren and just started killing whatever was coming outside. And it became late again, so I'll be back tomorrow. But first I had to install my trophy. So next day I returned to the police station, again. Quickly I dealt with few zombies outside, took my new toy, and instead of heading straight to a base, I went for a little ride to check how many zombies are outside of a baseball bat factory. On my way I drove past Bridge Checkpoint and I found a lot of car wrecks. Good, I'm gonna need them later. After arriving I've noticed that there wasn't that many of them outside, so I started killing them. And as soon as I did, my character became drowsy. So instead I headed home. I couldn't find any better place for my darts, so for now they end up on the roof. Okay, I decided that today I'm gonna start working on my mechanic skills. And to help myself, I'm gonna be using Auto Mechanic mod. If you don't like the grind on this skill, I highly recommend this one. First 2 levels went really quickly, and it was time to play The Sims again. I finally moved TV from upstairs and brought it down to my library. I've also done some work on the kitchen. Started day 148 with knocking down Mechanic Volume 2, and I moved the last items onto their shelves in the kitchen. I got my skill to level 3, but I ran out of cars to work on today. Behind the furniture store, just outside of my base, there was an ambulance in near perfect conditions, so obviously it's mine now. I stole a barbecue from behind the fast food, and 2 new arcade machines. I set them up in my lobby, and the grill ended up on the roof, which slowly transforms into the party area. Next day I continued to work on my mechanic skills, read another book, and gained another level. Starting day 150 with a trip to mansions by the river, where before I've seen stuff that was essential to my survival. Yes, plastic flamingos. And jukebox. Okay, so Florida Yardbirds end up on the roof. And music box to my bedroom. Installing sink and plugging it to water collector was a final touch in my kitchen for now. Later on I worked a bit more on my cars, but it got too dark, so I just called it a night. It was cold and windy today, but with warm clothes, I continued to work on my mechanic skills and eventually got it up to level 6. You know what, I started to feel a bit lonely. No, they don't have names yet. And no, I didn't start talking to them. So far. You know, because I'm shy. Anyway, I've added new mod, Project Cook. It adds new UI and making food with it is much more fun. And since there'll be more cooking in game, maybe this one guy will finally shut up about it. You know, Martin, I'm talking about you, right? Another day, another adventure. It was finally time to pay a visit to that baseball bat factory. After killing all the zombies around, I finally got to looting. Found car battery charger, that might be useful at one point. I end up taking 27 bats, that's gonna be enough for now. If I will ever need more, I'll simply come back here. Instead of driving straight home, I've done a little drive-by around Grand Ohio Mall to see how is zombie population around here. Yeah, at one point I'm gonna have to come here and deal with them. But not now. On my way back I've noticed that zombies start gathering again around the news building, so I spent a few hours dealing with them. After that I crafted some reinforced baseball bats. And I wanted to see how was welding those days. Yeah, I gave up for now. I will come back to it later. Day 153 welcomed me with snow! After thinking for a while what to do, I took a shotgun with intent to fire a few shots to attract zombies from nearby buildings and be finally done with them. After dealing with most of them, again, I moved up to the main road. I think there is something messed up with how fast snow disappears from the ground in big chunks. I didn't want to use siren in ambulance, just in case it would get overrun by zombies, so I needed a second car. I went back to the old police station, again, and started towing car. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with snow right now. I left it on the main road, but it had dead battery, so I'm gonna have to replace it at one point. Only thing I've done for next 2 days was killing zombies, and I got nimble to level 5. Okay, see, technically it wasn't a lie, because on the third day, after hitting drowsy, I started collecting big stones and leveling up my masonry skill. Why? Well, because for the first time, at least for me, I'll be doing blacksmithing. So next few days look like that. Wake up, kill zombies, collect stones, level up masonry. Wake up, kill zombies, level up masonry. Wake up, kill zombie. Actually no, today reading masonry volume 2. Then leveling up masonry to level 4, which I didn't have to do, but done it anyway. I've made a stone anvil. Next step, also remember this isn't a guide, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've decided to build a dome kiln. After a good 10 minutes of trying to figure out how to mix concrete inside of a bucket. And after that, I just knocked down masonry volume 3. Starting off the 160 with building simple furnace. And discovering that I'm gonna need clay. Thankfully, quick search online revealed the location nearby that might have some. And that's exactly where I went. It was exactly where it's supposed to be, so after quickly filling a few sacks, I just went back to base. After arriving back, I found that I need pottery wheel, so that's what I built. Finally, I was able to craft crucible, but to finish it, I had to first put it inside of a kiln, and to do that, I needed a fuel, so I had to build a charcoal burning pile. With all steps finished, I spent another 10 minutes trying to figure out why I cannot place crucible inside of a kiln. And I realized I needed advanced one. Okay, finally, I've got my ceramic crucible. It's time to end this day, honestly. Okay, another day, another steps. This time I needed hand operating press to make an anvil mold. With that done, it was time to start melting everything I could find in my base. And oh boy, that was another adventure on its own, trying to find what I can use, what I cannot use. Because some items can be melted in simple furnace, others need advanced one, so yeah. Next day I ran out of stuff to melt, so I had to go out and dismantle 2 car wrecks nearby. Anyway, I finally finished my anvil, only to discover I still needed to build an actual primitive forge first. After building one, on day 163 I was finally able to start making some real progress with blacksmithing. Easiest way to level it up was to make a loop of forging spoons and then melting them back. It was all going really smooth until level 2, where I hit a bottleneck. You see, I don't have Blacksmithing volume 2. I searched everywhere, and I couldn't find it. So it was back to fighting zombies on my way to Brooks Public Library. Do I need to clear the whole street? No, I don't, but I want to. Okay, so the plan is to replace car battery inside of the police car, park it outside, and turn the siren on. I could probably use fire to deal with them much faster, but I don't wanna risk burning everything down. It was time to start the killing spree. To stay effective in combat for longer, I started drinking coffee. When your character becomes drowsy, it reduces damage you deal with weapons, which means you need more hits to kill, and weapons break faster, and you're getting less experience. It will take some time to kill all of them, so I need any advantage to stay longer in combat. Before heading back home for tonight, I wanted to check how many zombies came out so far and what I will be dealing with tomorrow. For next 4 days, I was using Trapper Carabine to make zombies come to me, and baseball bat if I wanted to split them into smaller groups. So there you have it, 4 days of killing zombies. On a Christmas day, I decided to take a day off from killing zombies. I took the biggest chicken I could find. I wanted to cook it inside of the oven, but I didn't have the roasting pan. So instead, I went with secret horn eater stew recipe. Take everything you have, put it in the pot, and don't let anyone airsick touch the seasoning. After having a nice meal, I decided to work a bit on tailoring skill. I think I drank a bit too much whiskey, so I just went to sleep. Following day, after waking up, I was still in the Christmas mood, so I decided to take M9 pistol and continue spreading joy all over the pavement. After returning back to base, I decided to work a bit more on my tailoring skill. Day 170. I woke up quite late, so I decided to stay in base and continue working on the skills from last night. To mix things up a bit, I've also started doing a bit of mechanics later on. Okay, we are slowly approaching halfway point. So far I maxed out 4 skills, killed 10,700 zombies, of which around 7,000 in last 40 days or so. If you would like to help this channel to grow and help algorithm to reach more people with those videos, leave a comment, drop a like or subscribe. Once this series is complete, all episodes will be available in the form of one long supercut video. Thank you for your time, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.